Hello everybody, Blue Ghost here, with another Civilization Vox Populi Fire Emblem Let's Play. This is the third Let's Play I'm doing for Fire Emblem Vox Populi. In the first video, the first two Let's Plays I've done were both screenshots. So this is the first time I'm doing a video, so yeah, please bear with me as I have no experience doing this and I do not know what I'm doing. But I hope that it will go well, and I hope that you enjoy. So the previous two games that I've shown off with Vox Populi both followed a similar path, even though they were very different leaders, one with Lynn and one with Sophia. In both of them, I started off with authority with early conquest, expanding rapidly through conquest and fighting in the early game, and settled down to a more peaceful end game. Both times I went order and finished off with a diplomatic victory, fueled by my vassals. So that's a pretty standard path that a lot of my games go through, but this time I'm hoping for something different, something that follows a different path. And the leader that I'll be showing off today is one that hopefully will be conducive to that. So today we will be playing with Rausten, the magnificent, radiant princess of Rausten. So let's go over her unique ability. Gets a free great writer, artist, or musician whenever a great prophet is born. So in a typical game, you would expect about 5 or 6 great prophets in a game, but if you really focus on getting faith and great prophets, you can get a lot more than that. And Rausten is greatly rewarded for both having great prophets and for having great writers, artists, and musicians. As her great works will give her +5 faith, and her holy sites will give +5 culture and tourism. So holy sites in Vox Populi give tourism and culture by default, so they're pretty useful for cultural victory. And Rausten's will be stronger in that regard. Her unique building is a divine sanctuary, which is a replacement for the walls. So in the original mod that I am basing Rausten off of, the Divine Sanctuary was a shrine replacement. So we already have a shrine replacement in the Vox Populi with Emerald's Naga Shrine, which is a very powerful building. But so I didn't want to repeat myself with another shrine replacement. And besides the shrine being a very early building with no tech requirements, it doesn't really give him any interesting choices, since you'll be building a shrine first in every city if it's good enough to be a unique building. So with Rausten, I decided to make her Divine Sanctuary a wall instead, a wall is a pretty low priority building in most games, especially now that in the latest version of Vox Populi, it has been decoupled from happiness. So city defense no longer contributes to happiness. So walls aren't really necessary unless you're facing invasion, which happens a lot, so they are still pretty necessary. But still, they're a fairly low priority. So in the early game, all the Divine Sanctuary gives over the regular walls is +3 faith, which is pretty useful in founding religion, but not really necessary. But where it really shines is later in the game when you start spreading your religion. So for every city that you have following your majority religion, your Divine Sanctuaries will give +1 to city defense and +1 culture, which can be very powerful if you spread your religion far and wide, which Rausten is really suited for doing. And in that regard, her unique unit is a missionary replacement, the Troubadour, which is pretty much unchanged from the original. So I moved it to drama and poetry because theology is too late for missionaries to be on the field, in Vox Populi at least. And drama and poetry, of course, is what Rausten is known for with her troubadours. So the Troubadour can be produced with production or gold, and not just faith, so that will save us faith that's necessary for our great prophets and any religious buildings that we want to buy. So the Troubadour can also go through enemy territory without losing strength, unlike the regular missionary, and can also be used as a medic on the field, as she has the enhanced medic promotion, which is very useful in fighting. And even though Larakel is suited for a more peaceful game, we will be having some fighting eventually, because yeah, in Vox Populi, it's not really possible to have a really peaceful game all the way through. So let's see our settings. So our opponents will be mostly random, although we will have one non-random, Renek from Carcino, which will, yeah, he needs to be in the game if to be with Larakel and see how they bounce off each other, role-playing wise. But the rest will be random, and since I have the only mod civs mod, all of the random civilizations will be selected from the modded civs that I and others have made for Vox Populi. So it'll be a good mixture of Fire Emblem civs and Modica civs. Let's see. And our game options, so they're mostly standard. The events are all enabled. Oh, yeah, we need to have neutral events. So we have bad events, good events, and neutral events. I turned off tech trading because I find that to be pretty imbalanced in Vox Populi. It's an optional feature anyway. And I'm using research agreements from the base game instead. And also we have transparent diplomacy, which yeah, will let us see what our friends and enemies think of us. So let's see. Yeah. So let's jump into it and see what happens. So as we begin, I'll discuss my plan for the game a little bit. I don't like going in with a concrete plan because my preferred style is to adapt on the fly and not really set myself up for any path in particular. Although I, of course, will want to lean toward the strengths of the Civ, which in Larakel's case means fattening a religion as early as possible, getting those great profits, and going hard for tourism. We'll be attempting a cultural victory, although a cultural victory may not necessarily be possible if there is a Civ with runaway culture. Sometimes the cultural victory is simply not possible in the game, especially on the Emperor difficulty where we're playing as. So Larakel's focus a lot on great people, which speaks to a tradition. Start a tall civilization with few cities, focusing on great people and just making your capital as strong as it can be. But also, both of her unique unit and unique ability are focused on spreading religion, or her unique unit and unique building. I mean, so spreading religion is like much easier with a wider civ. So there's a bit of tension in Larakel's gameplay between tall and wide. So yeah, we'll have to see where the how the terrain plays out for us. So let's begin. So let's check out our starting position. So what we have here is floodplains, which is decent. The problem is we're surrounded with tiles that have a lot of food and a lot of production, but not both at once. And we're in the desert, so a lot of dead tiles that won't do anything for us. Which is a bit unfortunate. Not my favorite kind of start, but it is serviceable. So I think a floodplain start is suited for tradition, since tradition needs a very strong capital, which will grow quickly. So yeah, I think I'll be leaning tradition in this game, unless we find that there's a lot of free land nearby. Also, yeah, my animations are currently on. I will be turning them off for the playthrough for the sake of speed. And our luxury is silver, which is on the nearby hills. So they give a good amount of production. And we also have marble nearby, which is a luxury that requires construction to improve, which means that we have a good incentive to go toward construction early on, and which will unlock our unique building. So, let's found our city. The glorious city of Latona. which will be our capital. It's founded on a river in this desert, on floodplains with the marble vein nearby and some silver, which is pretty good. So we unfortunately will not have a lot of production early on, since we'll be working the food on the floodplains instead. So, in typical games, I usually start with either a monument or a shrine. And in Larkel's case, I think I will be starting with a shrine, because we want to get our religion as soon as possible. And since we're in the desert, a Spirit of the Desert start could be very powerful for us. So, we'll have the shrine. And, yes, let's send our Pathfinder to explore a bit. Yeah, most of you already know this, but the Pathfinder is the scout replacement in Vox Populi, and it's his unit that we start with. Very convenient to have a scout right away. And now for our tech path. So, we'll want pottery pretty quickly, since we need it to build our settlers. But pottery is usually a second tech in most circumstances, since we don't want to build our settlers right away. Although in this case we may make an exception, since there aren't really any other techs that are really necessary. We're starting from the desert, so there aren't many animals to reveal from animal husbandry. And mining is good, and we'll want it for our resources, but we will not be working those until we get our workers. And the well, which is very valuable, it will not work for us since we are on a river, so we can't build a well. So, yeah, I think I will start us off with pottery. Because then, once we get pottery, we can start settling our cities right away. So we have some oases nearby, which are pretty powerful sources of food in the early game, and will be even more so if we get Spirit of the Desert, which it looks like is the Pantheon we'll be going for. So let's see. Okay, so we have a good amount of plains up to the north, which is very nice. I think, yeah, chances are good that we'll be able to find some horses there, and horses are very valuable because horsemen are really necessary for defense and offense if we choose to go that way. Okay, so up here is Tundra. Tundra is not very good, but yeah, having some silver nearby. Yeah, not much food here, not much space for farms. This might not be a good space for a city. But we'll explore around and see what happens, and see where we go with the ancient ruins next turn. Yep. Our glorious city is growing very quickly, with the floodplains fueling our growth, and we will have our second citizen in just one more turn, which is very fast. Ooh. Okay, so we got our second citizen right away, and we'll be working the more floodplains. Yep. Our city is growing very quickly, and this seems like a good start. So, come up here. Yep, just more tundra. A lot of silver in this area, and so we'll want to collect the silver as our monopoly. So, yeah, if we get 5 silvers worked, then we will get the monopoly bonus for silver, which is, let's see, what is the silver bonus? +2 culture from resource tiles. Yeah, culture is one of the most powerful yields in the game in Vox Populi, so getting +2 culture is very good if we can do it early on. Unfortunately, the terrain around here is not very good, but it could be worth it. There is a nice place up here for a city. Yeah, we want to see if there's more good desert spaces nearby. If there's good desert, then we could go through the desert and get a nice desert pantheon going. But if not, yeah, we might want to go for a different pantheon, like the Mines Pantheon, God of Craftsmen, or maybe Goddess of Wisdom is always a nice one. Okay, so So we're working all the floodplains here. Some pearls nearby. Yeah, this is also a pretty good space for founding a city. Hold on, let me check. It is actually. Yeah, we can't check. It doesn't have a number right now. Although we will know once we connect our first silver. And now, our Pathfinder has enough experience from exploring to promote. Yeah, so scouts in Vox Populi gain experience from exploring. So our two options are Trailblazer and Survivalism. So Trailblazer is good if you have a heavy forest start, but it's very expensive to get to the later stages. So I prefer Survivalism, which is very good for defense and combat. And having a good combat scout can be pretty useful. And also just not dying from barbarians is also very useful. So yeah, I'll go with Survivalism and continue exploring. And we found another ruins here. What do we have? Culture! Nice. That gives us 18 culture, which accelerates us toward our first policy, which I think will be tradition. Although, yeah, we'll see. We still have 24 turns before we need to make a decision. So, yeah, we'll just see how much available space there is to expand around here. And that will give us some good insight. Okay, so it looks like this is just a little small patch of desert. Is it enough for Sphere Desert to be worth it? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it'll be better off going with the Goddess of Craftsmen.
Shall the clay say to him that fashioneth it, what makest thou?
Okay, so we got pottery, which actually isn't very much used to us right now. Okay, so the question now, I would like to go animal husbandry and mining, but which one first? It'll still be... So mining will take 10 turns. It'll still... Yeah, so will we have a worker up in 10 turns? Probably not, unless we get a treasure ruin. Ooh, there's a city-state here. That's nice. So I think I'll go animal husbandry, because there is a good amount of plants nearby, and I want to see where the horses are. Monster, and they give us 2 culture. They're a hostile city-state, so they're going to be pretty hard to befriend. We'll see. And another ruins here. Okay. This spot is pretty rich as well, with spices. Nagisa! Yeah, she was my main opponent in my game with Lynn, and she is oftentimes a very powerful contender, although sometimes she doesn't do very well. So we'll see how she goes in this game. He snagged the ruin before me. Too bad. Not much here. Maybe go down this path, or maybe come back around and explore further to the north. We have our 4th citizen already on turn 13. That's very fast. And now we are working the marble. I think I'll bring my Pathfinder back up north and explore up in this area. See if there's anything worth exploring up there. No barbarian sighted, which is good. I do not want to spend my time fighting off barbarians. And our shrine is built. So 4 citizens is usually enough to start on a settler, but I would rather have a monument up first, because getting culture is very valuable. And also, having a worker to work the floodplains is also very important. I may want to save up gold for a worker. Or rather, nah, I think I'll speed up monument construction with my gold once it happens. Yep, 83 gold. That's enough to invest in the monument, which cuts its production time in half. Yep, so now we have 4 turns until the monument is built. And that will accelerate enough to get our first policy pretty quickly. And I think I will be going tradition in this game, because while there is a decent amount of space nearby, it doesn't look all that appealing. And also, yeah, I don't want to take the risk of running out of room to expand. Also, having a lot of food with the floodplain start as tradition is very good. Okay, there's another city-state here. Yep, looks like there's not much space to expand up here, so I will be, going tradition. Tiana? Okay, so we have more culture. Let's see, what does next have? 5 texts.
Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn.
Okay, animal husbandry found, and we have a source of horses here by a lake, which is pretty decent. So I think I will be settling. Oh, there's the horses here. Yeah, so let's see, where will be a good spot to settle? By the lake. Here, probably claim the silver. Yep, and that will also, or rather, if we, that will also put us in range of the spices once that's expected there. All right, time to get mining and be able to get that silver. Okay, we're out of room over here. And now, what shall we build next? Yep, I think I will start on a worker, because we need to farm those floodplains. Get even more food going. And once we have that worker, we'll be at 5 population, which is a good size for starting our first city, our second city. Okay. And policy time. So no room to expand, no barbarians nearby to fight, so the choice is obvious. We are going tradition. And our first policy gets +2 culture and +3 food in the capital. And +5 growth in all cities. +5% growth. And we are 14 turns until our next policy, which is pretty decent. "17 turns until our Pantheon." Okay, so our Pathfinder will just continue exploring, clear out this area. This looks like a nice, cozy place. Very defensible, mountains to the west, so we don't have to worry about any enemy invasions from that area. A little boxed in, though. Oh, we don't need that many cities as tradition, so that doesn't really matter. Oh, there's another city-state over here. That's kind of unfortunate. I was hoping to claim that pearl spot for myself. Mightiest rulers in history. Yep, everyone has soldiers except for me. Okay, let's go visit that city-state and see what they have. Pantheon found it already. God King. Alright. That's, late blooming Pantheon. Scales very well. So if they manage to found a religion, whoever that is, they'll do pretty well with it. Okay. Latona has grown 5 citizens. Okay. Yep. They are working this little 1 gold silver tile. I think it's better off to just get us this oasis here. So yes, first city over here. Currently our scout, I think we'll go down further south to explore. We don't need to meet that city-state just yet. I don't think they're going to give anything good here. Oh, hey.
I am Wolhart, the Conqueror.
It's Wolhart. A friendly chap if there ever was one. We don't know where his cities are. If they're close by, we might need to expect an invasion sometime soon. Stonehenge is built. And, yep, there. They chose goddess of nature.
The meek shall inherit the earth, but not its mineral rights.
Okay, got mining. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with getting food up. For now. See if we can reach size 6 before building our settler. And for our next tech, let's see. Construction, guess is marble, which is fine, but not really necessary right now. And also, the Divine Sanctuary is also fine, but kind of low priority. Although, our other option is the wheel, which gets us the council. Science building. Science is always very good. So, construction or the wheel? I'll go construction. If that gets us the mausoleum, I'll be happy with that. And of course, connecting our luxuries is always good. Go west, scout. Alright, we have more city-states here. Have not found any territory belonging to other civs, which is a pretty good sign for us being a peaceful oriented civilization. Okay, and our Pathfinder has gained enough experience to level up again, so I think I will go with Medic or Survivalism too. So having a good Medic is pretty good, but it's not as useful when we're not planning on engaging in wars. So I think I'll just go for Survivalism 2 to make this scout more survivable. A lot of spices over here. I wonder if we can claim this territory. Better not be greedy. I think I'd rather settle up north first, get the silver monopoly going. Okay, our worker is done. So, do we start on the floodplains to build farms or the silver? Yeah, I think I'll start with the silver. Getting on luxury is good. So 3 turns till our next citizen. In the meantime, I think I'll start another worker and switch over to a settler once we have our number 6 citizen. Okay, I found it. Oh, hey, it's Lynn. Yeah, I gave Lynn a nerf lately because she had been overperforming very much in nearly all the games she's been in. So yeah, we'll see if the nerf is enough, or if she will run away with the game again. Trade. Looks like everyone's founding our pantheons before us. It's a bit unfortunate, but yeah, we can live with that. And here's Nagi's land. Yep. Okay, start on the silver. Here. Silver mines. Exploring over here. Okay. Lisa and Lynn in the lead for score. And time for our second policy. So we have two choices, justice and sovereignty. I think we are good enough to go sovereignty. This will give us an artist specialist and +3 faith, which, yep, will speed us toward founding of our religion, and also give us a decent amount of culture. So yep, we'll be working before chapel here. And we are at 6 citizens, so time to switch over to building a settler. And also, in that regard, working production. That's our focus. Ten turns for a settler. It's not too bad. 50 turns till we get a great artist, which will, which will give us a great work, which gives more faith. Lake Victoria. Alright, that's a nice tile, but I'll let Nagisa claim it. Yeah. Do not want to get into a turf war this early on in the game. There's Full Heart's land. Alright, looks like he and Nagisa will be fighting for a bit. Alright, time for our Pantheon. So, our choices. As I mentioned, Spirit of the Desert will give us +3 food from this oasis, and this one over here if we settle it. And we have 3 desert resources we're working, which is... well, I'm not going to count the silver since a flat desert tile is almost never worth working, so we have 2 workable desert resources there and 1 more over here. 3 desert resources total, and 2 oases. I say that's a bit light for Spirit of the Desert. So our other options. Goddess of Wisdom starts slow but ramps up quickly and gives faith. It's a bit better for taller civs, or wider civs with more cities, since they get more science per city. Goddess of Protection gives +2 faith and +1 culture from palace, walls, and barracks. So if we build that, then that will improve our unique building. So our Divine Sanctuary will give +5 faith in addition to +1 culture. That could be very well worth building, or choosing as our Pantheon. Goddess of Protection. Our other choices, Love. Yeah, we're not going to be growing as quickly from now on. Stars in the sky, no. The expanse. Okay, so Earth Mother. Earth Mother gives +1 faith and gold on mines for improved resources. So again, the silver on the desert is not going to be worth working that much. So I don't think that's really going to be that good. I'm going to go with Goddess of Protection. Yep, and go for just building those divine sanctuaries everywhere. Alright. The great goddess will bestow her blessings upon us. 8 turns till our settler. Looks like this is going to be a pretty peaceful game. Wallheart and Nagithar are going to be pretty occupied with their fighting, and I'm not particularly interested in contesting them. Ooh. Barbarians. Okay. Barbarians are afoot. Let's see, the archer here has... I'm actually not sure. Does the archer have the desert walk ability? Can they cross the desert in 1 turn? I'd rather not take that risk, so I'll have to work to move back and start building a farm here. Yeah, so farms on rivers give +2 food, which will be very helpful for growth. And I'll buy a warrior to help fend off those barbarians. Yeah, in the latest version, barbarians hurt a lot if they attack you. If they attack your cities. Alright. Let's get our warrior back up here, and yeah, we're only 1 turn away from the silver being completed. So let's try that. Anywhere else that we want to explore with our scout? Now let's go back up and meet the city-state. Looks like there's nothing really of interest down there since all territory is going to be taken soon. Yep, silver mine completed. I wonder if anyone's willing to buy that silver for a good price. What price are we going to ask for? 3 gold per turn? Okay. Let's deal with that. Okay, and let's see, our warrior can go up a bit, do some more exploration, see if we can find that barbarian encampment and clear it. Okay, archers over there.
How happy are those whose walls already rise.
Alright, we've got construction. Let's see. So we can now build this marble, this quarry on the marble. Do we want to do that now, or do we want to start building the farms? Oh, also, since we have silver now, we can check our monopoly. Yep, we need 5 for a monopoly bonus. So we've got 2 over here, 1 over here, and we need to settle at least 1 more city up north. That's certainly doable. Yeah, I think I'll go for the marble over there. And our next tech, well, we can go bronze working to get spearmen. Having some spearmen to defend is very useful. Military theory will get us horsemen, but that's farther away, so we don't have the wheel yet. And we're not really interested in going on the offense, so we don't really need horsemen that badly. On the other hand, yeah, Temple of Artemis, though, it's very probable wonder, but also very far away, and I don't know if we'll be able to get there. So yeah, I'll go bronze working, and the spearmen, which will be handy for our city defense. Okay, so someone in our city-state wants jade. Fortunately, we have not seen any jade anywhere. I don't even know what jade is. Well, I don't think anybody here knows what jade is. Alright. Let's get that marble. Can our warrior beat an archer one-on-one? That's the question. The archer's in the forest. That's going to be a pretty tough order. Maybe lure them out first. Okay, build that marble there. And, okay, so our settler's going to be finished next turn, so we'll settle, right, where? Here, yeah, I think on the lake. Let me check something really fast. So the well cannot be built next to a river. Yeah, so we can't build a well there. We cannot build a watermill. Baths require fresh water, which a lake qualifies for. Baths are pretty important later on, especially for tradition. So having a good eating spot is good for a city. Someone has entered the classical era already. Looks like they've been rushing technology. Not unduly worried about that. Okay, so here we are with our settler. What to build next? Second settler right away? Or get our Divine Sanctuary going? Yeah, I think we want to build our settlers as quickly as possible. Settle at least, yeah, settle all our core cities early on, so they have room to grow. Settler, come over here. Pathfinder, guard the spot. Warrior. Yep. We'll need some reinforcements to clear out the encampments up north, wherever they may be. I actually think I might settle another city down here, maybe. Okay, so this spot looks like a good spot for a city, but it's only 3 tiles away from this spot here, so maybe if I settle on top of the horses, that'll clear room for the city here. Fiona desires the mausoleum of Halicarnassus. Yeah, that is a wonder that I also desire. I do not know if I'll be able to get it in time, but it would be nice if I did. Getting wonders early on on Emperor difficulty is very difficult. Oh, yeah, this spot also is 3 tiles away from Monster, so I cannot settle there. Well, looks like I'll come here then. And, yep, that spot's off limits. I'd like to settle on the T. Settling on the T is not worth it. Yeah, because that's a very nice spot with some hills in the way to defend from attacks. Okay. Let's see. And in the meantime, yeah, so in the spot I originally intended, Vivaldi. And to start us off, 2 production. Let's see. I'll start us off. Yep, just start with the Divine Sanctuary right away. And invest in that once we have the money to do so. And then think about where to settle our number 3 city. I'm thinking up here in the north by the tundra. Alright, people are starting to get their third policies. We will be joining them soon, no worries. Okay, the encampment is not up there. See, this spot here has a marsh here, decent farm spot, some silver. Yep, that will give us the requisite 2 silvers for our monopoly. So, yeah, I think that's good enough. So, do the investment. So we'll have 3 cities, which is a good amount of cities. For tradition, we'll probably want a 4th one. Lynn is going progress. And territorial disputes? I don't even know where your territory is. Why do you want my territory? Yeah. We'll want 4 cities, which means that we'll probably want to settle here. Claim the spot before Nagisa or Walhart can get it. It's nestled in the mountains, pretty defensible, so I don't need to worry too much about it getting invaded. Marble. Nagisa has a 3rd city. Fortunately not in this spot, which is still available for us. Okay, so now we will send our worker to our next city here to do some construction. Yeah, you can never get everything you need in the early game. You just have to decide what's the most important. I would like the mausoleum, but I don't think that's our top priority right now. We need other stuff. We need our divine sanctuaries, we need more workers, we need settlers, we need a defensive army to deal with barbarians. Alright. Our settler can come down here, settle on the T. And our second policy will be justice, which gives +1 production in all our cities, and an engineer specialist. Okay, so with our engineer, we have... Okay. Shall we start on our 4th city now? Yep. Get the investment. So we will... Yeah, and then workers. We need workers. Yep. So our 4th city will be up north. And 4 cities will be enough for now. We could always expand more later down south if we're feeling warlike. Although, as a tradition civ, I prefer not to have to go to war. We still haven't met this city-state over here, whoever they are. Kensia. And we found that encampment. It's guarded by a single archer. Our warrior should come down for an upgrade. City-state wars. They happen occasionally. Nothing really results from them, ever. Yeah, our warrior is probably not quite good enough to handle that alone. Alright, we have a good amount of city-states nearby. So, we can probably get, some decent alliances going early on. Yeah, we need more workers.
Here Hector entered, with a spear.
Okay, bronze working discovered. And we have iron here. Yep, iron here. We'll be settling a city here, which means we'll be getting a good amount of iron. 6 iron. Exactly. Alright, let's have our Pathfinder come down here just to make sure there's no trouble. Don't suspect there will be. Alright, next we'll get the wheel, which we need for our first science building at the council. And also to unlock trade. No, the wheel doesn't unlock trade, sorry. Unlock military theory to build horsemen. Okay, someone got the mausoleum before us, not surprised. Good thing we didn't go for that. Okay, settle. Mount Mimir. And we will start on Divine Sanctuary here as well. Settled in the mountains. Pretty snug and cozy spot. Here. And, yep, we'll send our settler up north. Yeah. Don't want to invest a warrior in... Actually, why not? Let's have a center warrior up there for defense. Alright. So now we have all our settlers built, so time to get back to growing our capital. Alright. So, let's see. Yep, get stop working the guardhouse to start working on the... Actually, I think for now, let's leave the capital as is, focusing on production until we get our next worker up. Also, we have enough money to invest in another Divine Sanctuary here. We need workers. Someone's built the Temple of Artemis. Lynn has Petra. And the others don't have any wonders as yet. It's fine. Lynn's still on top even after the nerf. At least she's not as hard on top as she was before. Alright, we got our second silver. So let's see. Let's go back up here and get the farm going. Nagisa and Lynn competing for the top spot. Got our worker number 2, which we will send up north to work on that silver. Nagisa set forward settling Walhart. Well, we'll see. This will be very interesting once they start fighting for this space. Alright, so let's get us some more workers. A Divine Sanctuary will also be very good, but we need workers. At least one per city. More if possible. Friends? But why? What happened? I haven't even met that city-state. Probably a bug. Okay, scary barbarians. Yeah. They're about to kill Lynn's warrior here. Alright, we got our first Divine Sanctuary up, which is +5 faith and +1 culture. Very nice. So yeah. So now, we need a monument in the city to start growing our borders a bit. nearby encampment for Fiona. Where is it? Is that something I need to be worried about? Oh, it's the same one, right? I don't know. Okay, found our fourth city here, and yep, build our sanctuary. We'll have enough gold to upgrade our warrior to a spearman next turn, and then he'll be able to clear that encampment alone. This seems like a pretty good start to our little kingdom of Rausten. Hopefully, in time, we will grow to be the most beautiful and glorious nation the world has known. Some latecomers to the Pantheon game. Alright, let's go.
Wisdom and virtue are like the two wheels of a cart.
Right. So now we can get our Divine Sanctuary up in our capital. And build some more farms here. And let's see, Military Theory unlocks the barracks, which is also boosted by our Pantheon, and also Horsemen. Shh. Will be useful as soon as we get those horses. We have nothing on this coastline here, which is a bit concerning. But there aren't any good city spots to be found on that coastline. We'll probably just have to build ships over here and go around. Hand axe appears. Our spearman still enough to beat that. Start silver for a monopoly. Nope, our spearmen will be forced to retreat. Get promotion. Over shock here. Some good teamwork. 4 power. If we get another spearman up. Happiness is dipping a bit low. But I think we'll be fine for now. And we completed 2 Divine Sanctuary this turn, boosting our faith up to 22, giving us an approximate 23 turns till our next religion. That's quite something. And yep, and the Birth of our Great Artist will shave a few more turns off of that. Okay, I think that is good enough for today. So let's call it a night here. Thank you for watching, and I hope I didn't do too badly. Yeah. So please leave any comments and let me know what I can do better next time. Thank you.